And that's the agenda I have, is to make us be that kind of sheriff's office at the level we need to be at, because crime is not going away.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, right now I've got 4 investigators. I think I got over 70 active sexual assaults of a child between 4 investigators.
Wow.
And that's not including burglaries and thefts and all the other calls that come in. So crime is not going away, unfortunately.
Sure, it's not shrinking.
That's right. It's not. We have more people moving to our county, moving to our area. They're going to bring with them their problems, their crime, or they're going to bring with them their business.
Right. You are listening to Not On The Payroll right here at notonthepayroll.com. You can check us out at Facebook, check us out at YouTube, check us out at Rumble. Also check out some of our content over at Twitter. Look for the gorilla with the red headphones. That is our mascot, and you will be off to the races. Having said that, I am sitting down with Chief Deputy Scotty Duncan here in Jasper. And man, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule.
Thank you.
I wanted to discuss a couple of things. Obviously, there's a lot of people who know about you guys and what y'all do, far as how the prisoners come over from other places.
Right.
And but there's often rumor about why do y'all need so much money whenever you're getting all this getting money from the county and you're getting money from prisoner reimbursement. But how does that actually work?
Well, we house inmates for other counties. It's got overcrowding that doesn't have the room for.
Okay.
So say they're full up and they're still going, they contract with us if we have the room to house them here for so much a day. So, and we put that money that we make from that into a prisoner reimbursement fund.
Okay.
And what I like about that, well, some of the rumors that we talked about is, well, we're housing out of county inmates, so we don't have enough room for our stuff. That's that's not true.
That's not how that works.
No, we might try to make room for everybody, but the prisoner reimbursement, what I'm proud about it is, and what I like about it is the prisoner reimbursement is funds that can be used to better the sheriff's office, better our services, better our resources. And that has solely the taxpayer in mind, because that's money that we can use that doesn't come out of the taxpayer's pocket. And that's very important to me and us, is we can use that funds, say the communication building that we built, the dispatch center.
Right.
Our dispatch was very antiquated. It was in one little bitty room that we housed the jail control board in also.
Okay.
So we had jail communication going on, 911 coming in, that was getting interrupted, which interrupts our service to the community.
Okay.
So we built a brand new dispatch center and communication center that also has a training room that can be used for schools, that it can also be used during hurricanes and floods. And several times I've been here and the deputies been here during hurricanes and floods, to where we're sleeping on floors, we're sleeping in fire departments and everything else. And this will give us a place that's on a generator to house our law enforcement, to house EMS, to house firefighters, whatever the case may need. Neighboring sheriff's office, like in Louisiana, last year when the hurricane come through that particular area, they brought all their response trucks up here. Okay. And some of their personnel slept in this communication center. They had room to sleep, showers, stuff like that. That building cost over $800,000 to build. Not a cent of that for that building come out of taxpayers' pockets.
Okay.
And that's what makes us very proud of that. We also spend the funds on vests for deputies, because every time you hire a deputy, you have to tailor cut that vest to them. And a vest can run minimum $1,000 per vest.
Wow.
So that could be, a cumulative, that can be
sure.
If that come out of taxpayers' pockets, that can really, affect the taxpayers in the county. So we buy vests. We've bought, we just upgraded our camera systems in our patrol cars that we have to have now. Body cameras, that's essential in today's world. And cameras for the cars are being all upgraded because the systems in the cars, they're antiquated.
Right.
They're faulty, they're not functioning, which hurts us in prosecution of cases. It makes the DA hard to prosecute a case when you don't have good camera or audio. So that, the first year of that, I think it's $89,000 that we're going to pay the first year out of prisoner reimbursement. So there again, that's a big taxpayer's concern, because that doesn't come out of the taxpayer's pocket. We buy shotguns, ARs, raincoats, some training, education, and also at the end of the year, with the fiscal budget year ends, our overages for the budget, where we're over like in fuel, utilities, grocery, stuff like that, where the auditor does their best, and the county commissioners and stuff are working very well with us, and our auditor's office is very great and helping us out, but balancing our budget. But where we are over, we pay for the overages out of prisoner reimbursement.
Okay.
So there's several avenues that this prisoner reimbursement is utilized to help the sheriff's office with more resources, be better, and to make it easier on the taxpayer. And that's when the sheriff and I and the sheriff's offices and the jailers, the jail makes his money for these inmates.
Right.
And that's where I'm very proud of it, because it gives us some of the resources we need and another option to better to our sheriff's office and better our services to the community, and also take care of our taxpayer.
I got you.
Because we want to give Jasper County citizens the best law enforcement we can and be good stewards with the tax dollar.
Right.
Because regardless, when I became chief deputy, I had to start being a part of this budget planning and budget proposals, and I had to get involved in the budget.
Right.
Whereas as a deputy, as a narcotics investigator, and a CID person, all those, and a jailer, all those positions that I've worked at before, I never knew the workings of the sheriff's office budget.
Kind of the business side.
Right. And that's what I've been learning as chief deputy. And what I want to bring to that, what me and the sheriff want to bring to that is, the Jasper County citizens, they deserve, the whole county deserve the best law enforcement that we can give them.
Right.
Something that they can be proud of.
Yeah.
Something that they can brag on. And that's the agenda I have, is to make us be that kind of sheriff's office at the level we need to be at, because crime is not going away.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, right now I've got 4 investigators. I think I got over 70 active sexual assaults of a child between 4 investigators.
Wow.
And that's not including burglaries and thefts and all the other calls that come in. So crime is not going away, unfortunately.
Sure, it's not shrinking.
That's right. It's not. We have more people moving to our county, moving to our area. They're going to bring with them their problems, their crime, or they're going to bring with them their business.
Right.
And we understand that law enforcement plays, and a lot of folks don't consider this, but we do, because I've been in it for almost 20 years now.
Right.
And I know that how your law enforcement is, or how they perform in that area, affects businesses, property values, of everything of that nature. So that affects the taxpayer and the business owner, because you're not going to want to come to an area that doesn't have adequate law enforcement, that's overrun with crime.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on in these bigger cities right now. Everybody's trying to get out of these bigger cities and these high crime areas, and they're trying to come to rural areas. And I want them to feel comfortable here. I want people to be proud of it. And property values, and we affect that. Whether you want to admit it or not, law enforcement does affect those values.
That's true.
And so that's just many levels that this prisoner reimbursement helps us on. It helps us to get the equipment we need, the training we need, and keep the taxpayer in mind. Because ultimately, that's what it is in totality.
Yeah.
That's what this job is being good stewards with the money, taxpayers' dollars, and giving them, making sure they got the best law enforcement we can give them.
Sure. Another thing that almost seems like a misunderstanding out here in the public has to do with, I know you guys recently put a dispatcher in here, I guess for the ambulance service.
Yes, Allegiance. When they went through their contract, they agreed to put a dispatcher in our dispatch.
Which is actually very, very smart.
Yes.
Because you're not having to work through a technological way of communicating. You're right there.
Right.
Your access is instantaneous.
Right.
And so, but I think there's some, the idea that you guys have anything to do with them outside of that. There's some concern about y'all's authority as it pertains to the ambulance service.
The EMS situation in Jasper County right now is We had several, 2 or 3 different entities at once that was all working against, drinking out of the same trough, if you will. So we kind of seen a shift. They're going to these contracts now.
Mm-hmm.
The ambulance service are contracting in different ESDs or different areas, and that is solving a problem in some places,
mm-hmm.
causing problems another way. And I get that. I happen to live in the Kirbyville area right now that's going through transition and struggling with that very question.
Right.
But the sheriff's office, the sheriff example, the chief deputy, we have no say-so in that. We have no control or any say in that whatsoever.
Right.
There's no law stating that we have to force an EMS company to do certain things.
Sure.
So unfortunately, the way of the world today is that's become, it's all about money.
Right.
They're making money. It's a business, and I fully understand that. But on the other side of that, our first responders and our fire departments and our health services are all volunteer.
Right.
Jasper County could not survive without our fire departments and without our first responders. Period. I mean, I'm assistant chief of Roganville Fire. Have been part of the Roganville Fire Department since I was in 7th grade.
Right.
And that's for the community I live in. And now, the Roganville Fire Department is flourishing. It's doing good. Kirbyville Fire Department, all Evadale, Buna, Jasper, Tri-Community, East End, Sam Rayburn, all Angelina.
Right,
they're all just phenomenal organizations, but they're volunteer based.
Yeah.
And they have to have, equipment. And in that, we have to have ambulances.
Yeah.
But in that ambulance service, we have 911.
Right.
You call 911, you need an ambulance. We get that dispatch. But we had a problem in the past. Ambulance service tell us we were 20 minutes out. In all actuality, they was 40 minutes out because we didn't have a clue where they was.
And that matters.
Right. So this contract up here with the Allegiance, they've got it in Jasper and in Buna right now, contracts. We've got some areas, and Newton County's all involved in it. And it's a big growing process, and there's going to be a lot of growing pains.
Right.
And I fully understand, but that's something that we're going to have to, the right people that have the right decision making are going to have to step up, because that's just the way of the world. It's what's coming.
Right.
And we're going to make sure as a sheriff's office we do everything we can. With Life Flight, we're trying to work with Allegiance. We're working with, one person that's helping us out is our fire chiefs, to come together, and our first responder commanders, they're coming together and they're working great.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about them. I mean, all the first responder organizations with our paramedics and EMS, they're volunteers.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stress how important they are. And
it really is crazy because it's almost like there's just the fire department is the community.
yes,
That's what's cool about it to me.
right.
It's like that is the nucleus, that is the molecule, if you
Yes.
will, of the community. And I mean, every one of these little communities all through here, it's really cool to see people pull together and make things happen. I mean, this whole deal where now you have this whole volunteer process, like we're talking about, paired up with the sheriff's office, paired up with a for-profit business. It kind of makes it a little bit weird a way because, you guys obviously are the ultimate authority, but whenever you're dealing with a business situation like this,
it throws a different spin on it because sheriff's deputies and police officers and fire department personnel and first responders, they're all about one thing:
right,
service to the community,
right,
life-saving organization, helping one another. We're not, this fire department and the sheriff's office. That's not what we want. We want a full-on team.
yeah,
And that's why I'm very proud to be a part of Jasper County, because I don't think there's any place better, because I've seen them in action.
yeah,
I've seen it when hurricanes come through this county and floods, as
Sure.
we've all dealt with as a community, tornadoes even.
Yep.
When a tornado comes through a community, it seriously, I've literally stopped in the middle of a situation like that and glanced around and just swole up with pride because the teamwork, the way everybody's, they're going to have issues,
right,
but they always work them out, and we always take care of the people.
right.
That's what is awesome here, to be
Sure.
a part of this community, because and a chief deputy. And because, like I said, I'm chief deputy now. I've been a deputy. I've been an investigator. I've been narcotics. I've been a jailer here because I love it. You know, I seriously love this community. And I mean, I know we're getting off into kind of off the rails, but it just gives a backstory to what we're about. Because there's been so many outside agencies, news medias try to tear this county apart, say we're this and say we're that, because you know the background.
Yeah.
But they haven't been able to.
Right.
I mean, the Jasper County community has stood strong.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've asked me all the time. He said, you know, I could have left, went to Orange County, Jefferson County, Beaumont.
Sure.
I can't tell you how many times and made bukus more money.
Right.
That would have benefited me. But that's not where I live. That's not where my kids go to school. That's not where my heart is. And this community is awesome. And so any opportunity that we can get to better the sheriff's office and our service, because that's the two words, that's like I tell the deputies when I got chief deputy, is that's two words that encompass your whole life now. Protect and serve.
Right.
You know, protect is putting bad guys in jail. Service, that can mean anything from bringing elderly people groceries to changing a flat tire.
That's right.
And we've got to have that, because that's how, you know, us older people that's here, like me and Jason McClellan and Jason Holyfield and Downs and everybody that's been here for a long period of time, that's how we were trained.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what the difference is. It's about heart. You know, the sheriff's office on the business side has to be run as a business to make sure we're good stewards for the taxpayers' dollars and handle our business. But if it don't have your heart in it, you know, you're just defeating the purpose.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think a lot of times people get in a position where they forget that, you know, although they themselves are running off a budget at home, you guys have some sort of, cool, magical, one of those deals where the genie pops out. Whatever, you know,
lamp.
Genie,
Magic lamp.
You got young rub on that lamp, and here comes some money. You know.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes people just, unfortunately, I think we just oversimplify the complexity of having to run this thing as a business inside of a budget. Right. That is, for all practical purposes, potentially shrinking. I mean, I know we've got people coming in, but obviously, everything is all over the place. Inflation's killing everybody, and so I mean, you know, I think we had 3 entrees the other night at a restaurant, and it was $65.
Yes.
And I was like, man, I remember back when I could at least get a couple of beers with that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I've learned being in this position of chief deputy, as you say, learning the business side of it.
Yeah.
You know, the commissioner's court that we have now.
Right.
You know, Seth Martindale, Kevin Holloway, Dennis Marks, Willie Stark, you know, and Mark Allen. I mean, the group we have now gives me a big hope, because this is the commissioner's court that I see right now is they have a heart. They care about what needs to be done. Right. And they're working with the sheriff's office. I mean, they call day in and day out, and I call them, make sure we're working together, business relationship going to take care of one another. Yeah. And I can't even fathom, you know, I take care of this part, you know, the sheriff's office. And yes, we have the biggest budget in the county, but I can't even fathom as commissioners and what they go through, you know, because, you know, budget always comes back to them. Yeah. It does. Yeah. The sheriff's office budget always it's the commissioners. But they have a monumental task countywide. Sure. You know, and I think now, and they've been working very good with us. I'm very proud of them. They've been working well with me, and the sheriff, and they're concerned. Mm-hmm. I think they have a good understanding of what's coming. Right. You know, because crime is coming. It's here, but it's going to be a bigger problem. To say that it is not reasonable. Right. I mean, I can tell you that we're doing good on this, but we're fighting a war. Hands down, the narcotics is what's got to be fought, and the sexual assault, all has to be fought equally. The thefts, the burglaries, it's got to be fought the same amount on all levels, because that's what it is. Day in, day out, night in, night out. Because the sheriff's office never closes. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We got employees on round the clock. And when, like I said, when these storms hit, you know, and there's different types of storms. There's weather storms, and then we got, you know, criminal storms, if you will.
Right.
And we have to weather those to the best of our ability because we're the last defense and we're the first defense. I want to make that clear. The citizens of Jasper County, the sheriff office and the sheriff is the last line of defense against, all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Right. Sure.
If that makes a loud message.
Yeah.
And, because there's several concerns, and we have to be able to financially budget that to where we can adequately function. It's kind of like a waiter. If you don't get good service, you're not going to be happy.
Right.
And we don't want that type of reputation.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, but the citizens of Jasper County, countywide, from the south to the north, they don't deserve a $7 an hour deputy.
Right.
Because what you get what you pay for.
Right.
I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. And the deputies and jailers and dispatchers that we have now, it's not enough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's just what we have to get. We got to climb that mountain. But they got Jasper County's patch on their arm.
Yeah.
And on that patch, that represents everybody in this county, not just the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
We represent the citizens. We represent everybody. And we want to do that as professionally as we can.
Well, I think that pretty much says it all, man. You got anything you want to put out to the people? Anything you want to talk about specific beyond that?
I get on Swap Shop sometimes because, hey, it's great.
Why not?
Why not? I look at it, a deputy taught me a long time ago, always use a force multiplier. And I'm sure you know what that is.
Sure.
It's the difference between hunting with a 22 and 12 gauge.
Yeah.
If you can force multiply, do it. And I've been trying to get the message out there every way I can about these scammers.
Yeah.
Been telling people in the communities, look, we got to work together. It's our job, and we're going to do our job.
Sure.
But the community can help.
Yes.
And they have been. Yeah. And I'm so proud of that. They've been calling dispatch with suspicious vehicles, suspicious activity, and that gets us out there quicker.
Right.
Because the truth of the matter is, if you've got one or two deputies covering half of Jasper County, that goes from Kirbyville all the way to Vital city limits.
Wow.
That's a pretty huge area.
Yeah, that's a big area.
And even though Kirbyville's got police force, we still have to cover them too. And Buna.
Yeah.
Buna is a whole town itself.
Yeah.
And Evadale. So that's a lot of area. And if you go north, the same amount. To say that we can be everywhere at every single time and respond like we're supposed to is just, without the correct amount of resources, that's impossible. So if you're in the community, I tell the guys, stop and introduce yourself to these. If you see somebody outside working in their yard and that's your patrol area, stop and talk to them. Introduce yourself. Leave a card. Because they're going to be there 90% of the time. You're going to be in and out.
Yeah.
But they're going to be there all day and all night.
Yeah, they live there.
If they can see a suspicious car come in and they got your card, and they can call you and say, hey, this is so-and-so, I met you the other day. There's a suspicious vehicle I've never seen before. Hey, he can get right to it.
Yeah.
And that puts him on target quicker to where he can do his job more efficiently. And you can do it anonymously. You don't have to give your name at all.
Yeah.
Just if you see something, call and help us out. So I'm asking, it's good teamwork, and that's a very important thing is the community and law enforcement has to be transparent, has to be working together, hitting on all 8 cylinders so we can take the fight to them. And that's what I'm proud of. So
very cool. Very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Deputy Scotty Duncan for Jasper County. Appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, man.
Thank you coming down every time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you like this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe. Please, shoot this out. Let everybody know. Let everybody kind of see what all is going on. We encourage you to continue to try to do good in the community. And remember, like Mr. Duncan was saying, you guys live where you live. You're the first ones on the scene. So if you see something weird and crazy, put a call out. And that way you can actually bring law enforcement into the mix if need be. But you're the ones who are out there. You are the eyes and ears for the most part. So we've got to do our part in the process. And I know a lot of you don't like to volunteer out there, but for God's sakes, nobody wants a bunch of drama around their house.
That's right.
I mean, unless you go over to maybe some of my in-laws. Maybe. No, but neither here nor there, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you for listening. Appreciate you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. Continue to do good in the community. That is what we are asked to do. We love you.